Hey everyone, I wanted to show you a brief edit and how I used Luminar to develop an image. And it's pretty easy. Even my daughter did it. So I showed her the ropes yesterday. We went and we did a session with her at our farm. And, she was really interested in picking the images that I would keep. And I said, you know what, I'm just going to teach you how to edit them. And so she was pretty excited about that. And she's not too familiar with editing programs. She knows her way around a computer, but I just wanted to show you how simple and easy and fast editing can be with Luminar. And I'm actually integrating it with Adobe Bridge. So if you have Adobe CC and you have Lightroom and you have all these things, this is a kind of another way, sort of a different direction that you can go. And I thought about this pretty, not in depth, but I mean, when my daughter said, hey, can I do some editing? I thought, well, I think Luminar is going to be the easiest one for her to do. So that's why I did it this way. I could have taken her into Photoshop and shown her how to do the things that she'd want to do over there, but it's a little bit more manual, and Luminar has things that are a little bit more fast and easy, a little bit more beginner friendly. So I'll show you how we did it. So this is the session. I'm just going to kind of go through here. We'll just look at some of the images. So I'm in Bridge, just navigated to the folder where the images were stored. And so we'll just take this image to do together. So how I do this, actually, let's see, this one's up close. This one might show some of it better. So let's do this one instead. They're similar. I just flipped to horizontal with my camera. Okay, so the first thing I did was I said, I want you to right click on the image, and then instead of going into open in Camera Raw, which we could do, or we could double click it and it would open in Photoshop right away, we're just going to open it down in Luminar 4. So that's what we're at. And so that comes in here and it brings the image in right away. Now I'm going to reset this image. I'm going to go down to the history on this image and revert to original. Okay, so this is the original. She's already edited this one, which is why it came in with an edit on it. Now, what I told her, I said there's a couple different places that you're going to want to look when it comes to creating a complete edit, and it involved two separate things. Number one, go to the little face icon here, which is the portrait section. Go into AI Skin Enhancer and determine how smooth you want your skin to be. So if we go in here, we can see that, like most people, she doesn't have super smooth skin. I mean, I don't know any real person that does. And so we're going to just choose our amount. And I like to go too far first because then it looks a little bit crazy, but it's easier to see. And then I start to pull it back. And maybe some shine removal, and then I'm going to go to the AI skin defects removal, which will look for blemishes and take them off. So if we go up here to the eyeball, you can see the before and after. Now this is pretty aggressive, so I can pull this back a little bit to a place that feels where you see the pores and it still looks like a person. I think she picked up something a little bit higher just because she wanted to have more of a glamoury type look, if that's a word. And then we went down to AI Portrait Enhancer. So we're still in the face section, the portrait section. We increased face light just a little bit. This just takes the light that's on the face and amplifies it. No red eye, a little bit of eye whitening, a little bit of the eye enhancer, which helps to make the iris pop, sharpens the iris, makes the catch light a little bit brighter. And then a little bit of dark circle removal, only because some of these are with off-camera flash, and there was a little bit of a shadow because of her eye makeup there. So do that. Didn't really touch much of the rest of it except maybe improve eyebrows. I think she wanted that done because she's big on her eyebrows. And then this doesn't have any teeth in the picture, but I just added a little teeth whitening just in case there's a picture down the road that has teeth. And we left everything else the same. The next thing was going down to the Orton effect, which is also in the portrait section, and move that over. And we can see that adding the Orton effect just really, oops, what did I do? Here's before and after. It just, together, the face lighting and the Orton effect and the skin smoothing and everything, it just made a really pretty portrait. Didn't adjust skin tone, that we got right in camera. For those of you who don't know, I shoot Sony and I use cloudy white balance more often than not. Pretty much the only thing I use now, which is weird because I do off-camera flash and daylight, but usually that's the best starting point no matter what I'm doing. And it's I could go into that more in another video, but it tends to have the right recipe for skin in most lighting situations that I'm shooting in. And so what I can do here is copy these adjustments. So I can go in here and say copy adjustments. And then when I bring other images over into the program, it is going to give me the opportunity to paste those effects onto the next image. So let me go quickly and do that again. So now from here I can export to image, and I had a file folder that we created for her session. So it's not going to be saved back to Bridge in the original. It's going to be saved to a new file folder. And I am getting the spinning ball of fun here for whatever reason, probably because I've been doing a ton on my computer and I should really restart it. So it's likely my problem. But anyway, you can see here, I'm not going to save it because it's already been saved here somewhere, I'm sure, but I just set her up so that she could save it out there. All right, so I can go back here and let's pick one that maybe she didn't edit already. Let's see. There's one that I can tell that this is sort of the fakey smile. She's my kid. I can tell that this is kind of her modelly smile. So I'm going to open with Luminar and bring it over here. And oh, maybe she did edit this one. We'll see. Let's go to yep, there. This is the original. So I'm just going to go to paste adjustments, and it will place those adjustments on there. Now, the only thing you want to be super careful about is sometimes you're going to get a weird thing happening, and we did here. Do you see her cheek here? There's something going on. And so if that happens, what we want to do is go into the AI Skin Enhancer and turn off AI Skin Defects first. And that is going to remove any weird patchy striations. And actually this one I think is out of focus. Oh, it's still processing. It hasn't popped in. It's slightly out of focus, which is maybe why I didn't edit it. But anyway, then I can go ahead and hit the AI Skin Defects Removal again and see if it still causes the problem. And so it is. It's not liking this one. So then I just leave it off. And I can go in with a tool to remove anything that's wayward if I need to. But then I can also go down here to the Portrait Enhancer and check the teeth. See if I need the teeth whitened anymore than we have there. Anyway, just really fast and easy. And then one of the things that she noticed that she wanted to change was over in the main section here, which is the essentials. Under color, she noticed that she didn't like the greens being quite so yellow in the stems. So she went over to the greens and desaturated those and lowered the luminance a little bit. And that was something that she chose to do on her own. And she did it in these various images that she went through. But anyway, that was super, super, super fast. Nothing mind shattering, just a couple different places, a little bit in the color section, in the essentials, and mostly just using the portrait section. I should mention one other thing that she liked to play with as well was in the creative section here, which is mystical. And mystical gives sort of a dark halo-y effect. It's kind of like the Orton effect, but it's a little bit more deep and enhances shadows and adds kind of a glow to the shadows. And she liked that one, so she added that to a lot of them as well. So then you just save this out to the folder, and then you can close out of Luminar and be done, and we're back into Bridge. If you wanted to save them back into this folder, you absolutely could, and then they would show up down here, but you'd want to make sure that you rename them something else so that they don't, go over the top of the original file. Let's just do another quick one before we quit here. There were some that were so pretty where her hair, I like to have her hair moving. Not just her, but anybody. When we take portraits, I just really like movement in portraits in general, because I think I get more natural looking expressions when there's a little bit of motion going on. So I like this one. Incidentally, in Bridge, you can just double click and move this thing around so you can see if it's in focus or not. Very handy. Right click, open with Luminar. let that open, and I had completely closed it, so now it's kind of doing the bouncy thing at the bottom right, and it's going to open up. And I don't know if it'll remember the last thing I did. I think it will. We'll see. So we let the image load, and then I can go down here and I can paste adjustments, and we'll just see how it works. So you can make presets, which are called Luminar looks, which you could put down here as well. But I tend to like to do the copy paste method when I'm working on an individual session, because I know that it's going to work with it. And then if I have to make a lot of tweaks, I just copy it again and paste to the next one. And if I do feel like I'm going to use it ongoing for other sessions, or if I'm repeating things, say I'm bringing multiple people into this location to shoot, then I will make a proper preset of it. But we can look here and we can see the before and after. Isn't that pretty? Just really pretty and easy. And I don't think we changed the greens in this one. So we can lower the saturation a little bit like that and call it good. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me. So that's a connection between Bridge and Luminar. If you're interested in learning more about Luminar, I have a complete course at the Creative Photography Network. You can find the link for it below. Thanks. Bye-bye.